Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Bodal Chemicals Limited Q4 FY24 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Ankit Patel, Executive Director. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. On behalf of Bodal Chemicals Limited, I extend a very warm welcome to everyone for joining us on the call today. On this call, we are joined by our CFO, Mr. Mayur Padhya. I hope everyone had an opportunity to go through the financial results and investor presentation, which has been uploaded on the stock exchange and our company's website. We will give you a quick overview of the recent developments in the chemical industry, and then Mr. Mayur Padhya will walk you through the operational and financial performance for the Q4 FY24 and FY24 full year. Industry highlights. Since last couple of months, we have been experiencing stability in the demand for our industry products. It seems destocking position has come to an end and gradual recovery, but at low speed is there. There is still uncertainty for end of war between Russia and Ukraine, but industry has started living with the circumstances. The two major markets, the United States and Europe, has been still slow due to multiple headwinds from rising inflation to uncertain geopolitical scenarios. Slowdown in China impacting the domestic demand in China, resulting in excess volumes originating from China. Most aggressive interest rate in US causing financial conditions to tighten, and recessionary trends continue impacting the demand. As per the company's overview, we are India's largest integrated manufacturer of dyestuff and dye intermediates and hold a meaningful market share in the world. In today's environment where Indian suppliers are emerging as preferred partners globally, we have been able to hold on the leadership position. Coming straight to the operational performance. Overall business performance for FY24 has been weak as the company's total revenue stood at 1419 crore, a degrowth of 11%. Though the company has achieved better production volume compared to previous year, the company has posted degrowth in revenue and margin due to the lower margin and lower realization across the chemical industry. In Q4 FY24, during the Q4 FY24 revenue as well as margin remain almost constant on year-on-year basis. Company achieved 399 crores turnover during the Q4 FY24, which is 16% increase on quarter-on-quarter basis. Average revenue from last 3 quarters was 340 crores. So Q4 FY24 represents 17% improvement over average of first 3 quarters of this year. This gives clear sign of recovery for the company. Management expects to sustain the recovery. Coming to the dye intermediates. At present, dye intermediates like HSA, vinyl sulfone pricing has been stable, giving chance for recovery. For Q4 FY24, total revenue from dye intermediates stood at 452 crores. HSA and vinyl sulfone prices were near 432 and 224 per kilogram in Q4. Being an integrated dyestuff manufacturer, we produce major dye intermediates products, and over 40% of these intermediates capacity is captively consumed, resulting in a cost advantage for our dyestuff products. The balanced capacity of dye intermediates is served in both domestic as well as global markets. Many intermediates manufacturers in India are still under pressure due to slow demand. However, Q4 FY24 sale revenue from dye intermediates was 45 and 15% improvement on year-on-year basis, which can expect to improve in coming days. Coming to our dyestuff, end application industries like textile, leather, paper, other dyestuff consuming industries have not performed well during the last few quarters. All leading textile companies are facing global headwinds which have curtailed the outlook for dyestuff products. Revenue from the dyestuff business for FY24 stood at 471 crores. Coming to basic chemicals, about 50% of our basic chemical is captively used for dye intermediates. Our overall basic chemicals contributed around 121 crores in FY24, which has declined by 30% due to lower raw material price of sulfur and price of finished goods like sulfuric acid and its derivatives. Coming to the chlor-alkali business has reported degrowth in revenue as well as steep decline in margin due to adverse market conditions of caustic chlorine industry. In FY24, post-upgradation capex, despite the growth in volume by 17% due to substantial price reduction, chlor-alkali revenue stood at 268 crores, a degrowth of 18%. Coming to the benzene derivatives, our Saika Greenfield project has commenced its commercial operation of benzene downstream products on 29 December 2023 by starting production of MCB. Company has started production of other products like PNCB and ONCB on 16 March 2024. These being specialty products will require about a quarter to stabilize. Senar Boya, our Turkish company, is located at Turkey, and Turkey as a country is experiencing hyperinflation. During the quarter Q4 FY24, on implementation of AS29, there is a 16 crore loss, and the same is already part of declared result. Chinese and Indonesian subsidiary have performed satisfactory. Further, the board of directors have decided to permanently stop production activities at the manufacturing facilities of Unit 1, Unit 3, Unit 4, located at Vatwa GIDC, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. The company has manufacturing facilities of dye intermediates and dyestuffs at Unit 1, dye intermediate at Unit 3, and dyestuff at Unit 4. These are small and very old plants constructed between 1989 to 1993. Due to technical changes, these plants are no longer economically viable. Operating capacity has been very low at these plants and for the last several years. Further, the company has already increased capacity by doing debottlenecking for dye intermediates at Unit 6 and Unit 7. Hence, it will not result in any major production loss for the company. Overall efficiency will improve due to the reduction of the fixed overheads. Furthermore, company will dismantle and save manufacturing facilities, and it will lead to a reduction of less than 3% in the total tonnage production capacity of the company. We have been moving up the value chain and working relentlessly towards diversifying the business from our core dyestuff and dye intermediate business to other specialty chemical products like benzene derivatives. Manufacturers and exporters in India are having a challenging time managing the overhead cost. Over the years, chemical industry has seen a transformation. Long-term story of India remains intact, and the chemical industry is poised to grow from here on. However, we expect overall demand to remain grim for a short period. Thank you, and now I hand over the call to Mr. Mayur Padya to walk you through the financial performance.
Good evening, everyone. The overall performance of the company has been muted for the quarter gone by. Our standalone performance for Q4 FY24 is as follows. Total revenue for Q4 FY24 stood at 397 crore. EBITDA stood at 39 crore in Q4 FY24. Net profit for quarter stood at rupees 4.9 crore. Our standalone performance for FY24 is as follows. Total revenue for FY24 stood at rupees 1402 crore. EBITDA stood at 123 crore in FY24. Net profit for the year stood at rupees 8 crore. Our consolidated performance for Q4 FY24 is as follows. Total revenue stood at rupees 399 crore for Q4 FY24. EBITDA stood at rupees 31 crore for Q4 FY24 with a margin of 7.7%. Net profit for quarter stood at rupees 2 crore for Q4 FY24. Our consolidated performance for FY24 are as follows. Total revenue stood at rupees 1419 crore. This includes export of 72% and domestic sale of 28%. EBITDA stood at rupees 119 crore, a degrowth of 18%. Net profit for the year stood at rupees 6 crore against 38 crore of FY23. FY24 performance for key subsidiaries are as follows. Senerboya, a Turkey subsidiary, has underperformed due to post-effect of Turkey Syria earthquake. The country is experiencing hyperinflation, and on implementation of hyperinflation accounting standard 29, there is a loss of 16 crore due to that. Chinese and Indonesian subsidiary have performed satisfactorily. Segment-wise performance on a consolidated basis for FY24 are as follows. Dyestuff revenue stood at 471 crore. Dye intermediate revenue stood at rupees 452 crore. Basic chemicals revenue stood at rupees 121 crore. Chlor-alkali revenue stood at rupees 268 crore. Total production volume on a standalone basis for FY24 are as follows. Dyestuff reported 14,209 metric ton. Dye intermediate reported 22,426 metric ton. Basic chemical stood at 2,12,526 metric ton. Chlor-alkali stood at 79,027 metric ton. With this, I conclude the presentation and open the floor for further discussion.
Thank you very much, sir. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask questions may press star and one on their touchtone phone. If you wish to withdraw yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use only handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. You may please press star and then one to ask questions. The first question is from the line of Aditya Khetan from Smith's Institutional Equities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the question. Sir, first question is onto the Senerboya. Sir, what is the business of Senerboya? Like it is into the vinyl cell phone, I believe. And this loss of 16 crore in this quarter, is this a recoverable loss? And how this loss has been, like with the implementation of some accounting rules, has this so this one-off loss has been taken?
Yeah. Senerboya's business is to distribute dyestuff, what we produce in India. We export dyestuff to Senerboya, Turkey, and then they distribute it to nearby country as well as locally. As far as business is concerned, yes, it has suffered due to severe earthquake, and players are still recovering. So turnover was very low of about 9 crore for the quarter, and as country is experiencing hyperinflation since last about 2+ years, local government has announced in November 23 that every company has to prepare their accounts implementing accounting standard 29, that is for hyperinflation. So by implementing that accounting standard, there is one item of loss of 16 crore, but there are some positive impact also of about 8-9 crores into deferred tax asset kind of things. So overall, Senerboya has performed of about 4.5 crore loss for the quarter, and this loss is a book entry only in a way. So there is no question of recovery or something like that. Hope I have answered your question.
Okay, so the 16 crore loss is again offset by 8 to 9 crore, which has been booked into the deferred tax.
Yes.
Okay. Sir, onto the benzene derivative, sir, is it possible to share the volume figures, like at what, so what are the volume figures and what is the utilization of NCB, PNCB and ONCB?
So the current utilization levels are very low due to a couple of international technologies that are involved. Our first plant is completely ready to go and already been commercialized. We've also sold the material, and also in the second plant is also we were able to produce the finished goods. But because of the two international technologies plus multiple stage of distillation, we are still synchronizing the whole complex, and due to that we are operating at very low volumes at the moment, and we also have some captive consumption. So I think for another 1 to 2 months we will not be selling much in the market. So I think after 1.5 to 2 months we will be coming to the market full-fledged with the utilizations of at least 60-70%. So in the current quarter, we will not get much effect on top and bottom line from this business.
Got it. Sir, onto the commentary side, into your initial opening remarks, you had mentioned that so management is now witnessing recovery. So can we believe, like, sir, this fiscal FY24, most of the negatives might have been priced in, so whether it is your lowering of caustic soda prices and other like dye stuffs, dye intermediate production, which is like hovering at lower utilization level. So you feel that this recovery is sustainable and consequently we can expect some quarter-on-quarter good numbers from the company from here on?
So there has been a recovery since last 2 to 3 months, I would say, and I definitely feel that this recovery is sustainable. Your next point was whether we will see improved quarters on quarter-on-quarter basis. It's difficult to tell right now, but I think maintaining how we did in the Q4 and also the current scenario, how it is going, how the raw materials are placed and how the demand scenario is happening for our finished goods. I think going ahead we should be able to maintain what we did in Q4 and also what is going on at the moment. Immediate quick recovery or improvement of margins may not happen, but I think gradually within few quarters with the addition of new business and economical scenario should also recover at some point and get better. So I think going ahead, yes, we can definitely expect better numbers, but not very quickly.
Okay. Sir, any for FY25, any sort of a top line or EBITDA guidance growth if you can share?
As far as top line is concerned, we have done about 400 crore in last quarter. So if we assume that run rate, then we can definitely cross 1600 plus whatever this benzene downstream can give us. So nearly 1600 to 1800 can be a range where we will target to close our business. As far as EBITDA is concerned, there should be good recovery from this level. Reason behind, there are several things we are doing. We have closed down certain units which will help us to reduce our fixed overhead. There are certain government incentive that we are eligible in Punjab that should be available to the company that are in the range of about 20 crore per annum. So because of election process that has deferred, so we are expecting within 2-3 months that will be approved by state government and that will start accruing to our as far as cash flow as well as revenue is concerned. At the same time, as Ankit Bhai has mentioned, the things are becoming stable for the company. So what we have ended at 120 EBITDA level in last year, there should be at least improvement of 50-60 crore considering all this level. Now, it's difficult for us to give clear sign what benzene downstream will perform, and that will be also clear within 3-4 months that how that perform. But overall, yes, we are expecting a good EBITDA number. If I give broader range, then it can be in this range of 160 to 200 crore or something like that.
And sir, this EBITDA figure which you are mentioning, this is including the other income?
Yeah, including other income.
Okay. Sir, my last question is onto the production loss. As you mentioned in your opening remarks that the old plants which are not economically viable, so to the tune of 3% of production loss to overall sales volume can be incurred. So this will be done in FY25 only?
Yes, in current year itself. So that has become effective, we can say. And as mentioned by Ankit Bhai in his speech, that these are very old plant and they were not contributing as such to the company's performance. So that will not have much impact as far as production level or sales level of the company.
But we are not looking at refurbishment for that plant?
No. See, this plant are located in Vatwa industrial area and nearby residence has already been there. So I said there was not a longer future for this chemical plant within the city. So this step was otherwise also need to be taken within a year or two.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pradeep Rawat from Yogya Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir, and thank you for the opportunity. So I have a couple of questions. First, regarding the domestic industry structure, so what is the total market demand for dye intermediate and dye stuff, and how much of it is imported?
These numbers vary because the imports are not regular. Last 10 years or so, it's been there's a lot of volatility that has been happening, and so annually, if I say dye intermediates, then annually it's about more than 1 lakh tons is the domestic production and demand scenario, and there are about 30 to 40,000 tons of imports on an average basis. If you look at last 5 or 10 years data, that is the size of the dye intermediate business here in India.
And what about dye stuff?
Dye stuff, the numbers are a little more. Dye stuff, I would say it's about double. I mean, there are a few different categories of dye stuff. There's dispersed dyes, and then there is a textile dyes, reactive acid. There are also liquid dyes for packaging and all. So, I mean, put together, it can easily cross about 3 to 4 lakh tons a year. And some of them are pioneered from India, some are not, dispersed dyes, which is used in a huge way in India, but majority of the production is taking place in China. Whereas reactive dyes, which is where the application is cotton textiles, there India and China share equal markets. So it depends, but yes, the overall dyes market is around 4 lakh tons a year.
Okay. And with respect to our competitions, who are our competitors, and are they expanding capacity, or you have witnessed some capacities that in the industry that are shutting down?
Overall, in dye intermediates and dye stuff business competes with China, but both have more of its own captive usage of the production. Like we have very, very less exports to China. Similarly, they don't have exports to India in a very big way. They only export some intermediates, and that's also not in very huge volumes. So the competitors are domestically. There are companies like Colortex. There are companies like Jai Chemicals. These are a couple of the largest players. There are a few players in Far East countries, Taiwan and South Korea. They are also a good sizable players, and they also compete with Indian players, when it comes to exporting to Bangladesh or exporting to Turkey or Italy. So India and China don't compete directly too much, only for some intermediates. Otherwise, for dye stuff, India has competition from Far East countries.
Yeah, and with regard to capacity expansion and shutdown in domestic market?
Domestically, there has been, I don't think there are any shutdowns other than some old capacities, being stopped and maybe replaced in the newer units, bigger units or integrated units. So what the trend in last 7-8 years has been, many companies, so we did have a backward and forward integration in mid-2000s. And because of the Chinese environmental issues around 2013, 14, 15, there was a shortage of some intermediates, because of which few dye stuff players have also backward integrated themselves into setting up a couple of the main dye intermediates. So that is the latest change that has happened in the Indian industry. Dye stuff, I think, is a couple of % annual growth industry. There is not much capacity addition from any major players. But in intermediates, there are some new plants that have come up in last 2 years. And but also at the same time, Chinese imports have also been quite less. But yes, there are new players, integrated players.
Okay, so my last question was regarding the capacity that we are adding into benzene downstream. So what would be the capex outlay for this expansion, and what would be the annual revenue from this capex?
So it is a new greenfield project that we recently started. Being a greenfield project, there were a lot of non-plant expenses like infrastructure expense, land, etc. So the total investment, other than the land and everything, it's around 390. It's less than 400, so it's around 390 crores. That has been the investment. And the expected turnover at 85-90% utilization is around 400 crores.
Okay, so payback time for this expansion would be somewhere around?
So this business, these products traditionally have been 17 to 18% EBITDA levels. So we are expecting a payback of around 5 years. But at the same time, because this is a greenfield project, there are a lot of capex items, which were extraordinary and which probably comes in only the first phase. So in going ahead in future, when we expand more into this benzene derivatives, add more capacities or add more integrated products, I think those will benefit from brownfield projects, and those expenses will not be there in future.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for explaining so wonderfully. Thank you, and good luck for your future endeavor.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aditya Sen from Robo Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. Volumes guidance we got, but do we see any recovery industry-wide in the realization of dye stuff and intermediaries?
So recovery in the dye stuff and dye intermediates is, I think, the best. That two positive things that has happened in last 3 months. One is the stability of majority of the raw materials, because there was a lot of volatility, and most of the raw materials are now in the lower cycle or in a viable range. And second is our volume growing, to about 80%. So demand has been a little better. That also, saves some of the overhead costs, etc. So it adds a little bit to the margins. So it is just definitely a positive scenario that we have experienced in last 2 to 3 months. And even today, I think the similar scenario is going on. And going ahead, I think we don't see any very challenging picture.
Okay. So you answered about volume, but what about realization? Will it trend upwards going forward in this year?
Realization increased a little bit 3 months before, 2 to 3 months before. Since then, it has been flat.
Okay, all right. And any guidance or any understanding on this one for this year?
For this year, as per the last quarter of FY24, we did almost 400 crores of top line. So we should do minimum of around 1700 crores because the new business is also add on. So around 17 to 1800 crores of top line we should be able to do, and I think EBITDA level can be around 10 to 12%.
All right, so got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants who wishes to ask questions may press star and 1 now. The next question is from the line of Gopu Surya, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for your opportunity. What about our company debt levels and when our company will become debt free with good dividend paying company, sir? My first question. And my second question is, from last 5 years, Bodal Chemical shareholders got nothing but only loss. So are you planning for buyback? And what about our assets are showing more than our market capitalization? These are my questions.
Okay. Company has a term date at the balance sheet date is about 538 crore, and we are going to pay every year 100 to 120 crore. So we should become debt free within 5 years. And as far as dividend is concerned, once the company start generating good revenue and profit, company has been paying continuously dividend since last 7-8 years. So once again, it will start paying a dividend. See, company do not have any surplus fund, because whatever surplus that is going to generate in the system, that will be utilized for the debt repayment. So there is no plan of buyback of share in near future. Anything else?
It is showing like our assets are more than our market capitalization share market. Because of that, the investors are not happy, or investors are bearish with our company.
Yeah,
it is time being. I feel that because last our market cap is yes, like you said, it's less than the book value, and investors may not be happy because of that. But last few quarters have been margins wise and business overall revenue wise has been very dull. So I think it is the result of that, because the sectors that we are present in, there has been challenges there, and they are not performing well. So I think due to that, the share price has been decreasing. But at the same time, when the business is recovered, when the business is doing better, because we have gone through similar cycles in the past also. So whenever the business is recovered well and is generating good top and bottom line, I think the valuation should be back and the share price should be healthy again.
When we can expect the turnaround?
I cannot expect it, but what we are doing and what we are trying is that we are creating a diversified portfolio. We don't want to depend on any particular application where we have to depend too much on a certain consumption, etc. So what we have now done, added chloralkali, now we have added benzene derivatives. So now our significant volumes will go into pharma, significant volumes will go into agrochemicals. Again, textiles we have been catering since long time, and specialty chemicals and a lot of exports also. So I think put together, we have created a business model where we don't depend on a certain market or a certain application. So I think this should definitely give us more stability. If you look at our numbers of last few years, There have been great years, there have been some challenging years. So I think what we are trying to do is trying to create some stability at the business model side. So I think we have now successfully done it, and we just need some economical support where things are quite normal across the globe. And I think that's when the right result should come for us, when we will be able to utilize all our existing diversified product portfolio, and the market should be a little normal. So I think whenever that happens, I think we should really have a good value created for the shareholders.
When can we expect the Turkey turnaround? Is it last booked, or it is continuing still?
Still, challenges are there. Volumes are gradually picking up, but it is taking time. As I mentioned earlier, earthquake has affected severely to their dye stock industry, consuming industry, that is textile industry. So still it will take time. It's difficult to say exactly by when it will recover, but things should gradually stable and recover.
Thank you, sir. All the best for our future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next question is from the line of Rohan Patel from Turtle Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Your audio is feeble. I would request you to use your handset, please.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Little volume is less. Give me a moment.
Wait a minute, yeah. Hello.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Yeah. I'm new to this company. I just wanted to understand that we were enjoying margins on north of, say, 20%, 18% back in 2014 and 15. And since then, our margins have fallen down to 7%, more than half. So can you explain me what has happened during this period of time?
See, the period of 2013 to 2022, sparing the corona period, company was enjoying very good margin, and that was one of the reasons was there has been a disturbance at China. So initially, Chinese players were not required to treat the effluent, but then later on, Jinping government from 2012 onwards gave clear signal that everybody needs to treat the effluent. Now, effluent treatment cost is a significant cost, and because of that and several other reasons, their industry was facing certain challenges. So every year, one or other unit face closure, and there has been disturbance as far as demand and supply gap is concerned. So because of that, Bodal-like company enjoyed several percent, like 3-4% of additional EBITDA. So steady level, we were able to generate about 13 to 15% EBITDA with the business model. But because of that, we generated 18% also EBITDA. Later on in 2017-18, we set up several plants in subsidiary company as well as our own company. One was SPS Processors Private Limited and another was Trion Chemical Private Limited. And we expanded our dye stock capacity also. So in the year 17 to 19, we did a capex in the range of 300 to 400 crore. Because of that, our capacity has expanded. Our overhead also increased, but the revenue and the resultant effect was not there because of several reasons, later on Corona, etc. So our base has increased, but that has not been fully utilized. The additional capacity has not been fully utilized. That's why our overhead cost was higher. So once we start utilizing this capacities, new plants, etc., then once again we are expecting to reach to 12-13% of EBITDA. But this is a phase where even industry has also suffered a lot during last 7-8 quarters. So every player's margin has reduced, and there was one additional reason of setting up new plants and additional fixed overhead that has affected the company.
Okay. So keeping chlor-alkali and benzene apart, if we utilize our capacity to full level, say optimum utilization of somewhere around 85%, so can we can expect margins of 11% to 12% if that happens, if market recovers and our capacity utilization is optimum?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, and what are the margin range for chlor-alkali, and how big it can be for us in revenue, top line terms?
Chlor-alkali margins vary from say 16 to 20%, and before 2 years there was very good time over at that time, even more than 25% margin was also there, but that was abnormal. We study case we can expect about 18 to 20, 16 to 20% margin.
Okay, and what kind of revenue we can expect with a peak capacity utilization, optimum?
It can be in the range of 350 to 370 crore once the capacity is fully utilized.
Okay. And another thing I just wanted to know, our inventory days have deteriorated, and like from last year it started improve, but if you see for 5 years, 6 years range, it has deteriorated. So what are we doing on that front? How are we trying to make it better?
See, our integration has been becoming stronger and stronger, and because of that we are required to have a larger inventory. At the same time, our final product dye stuff, over there are lots of product, more than 100 products. So to match the require and quick delivery to customer, we are required to give larger stock. So this is the level that will remain more or less same. We are not expecting much improvement from this level.
Okay, so this is the with the current capacities and current product profile, this is what it will be staying.
Yes, more or less this will remain.
Okay, thank you. This was from my side.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aditya Khetan from Smith Institutional Equities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the follow-up. Sir, in this fiscal, in 2025, so we can expect this chlor-alkali business to reach peak utilization levels?
Yes, it is already at 80 to 83%. I think there is still room to go up to 90 to 93% utilization, and things are in place for that. So I think about 8 months of the year we should do around 90%, and the remaining about 80. So yes, blended, I think we should be doing about 85, 87%. So there is some more room for improvement. Yes, it will add a little bit to the top line and also add a little bit more to the margins.
Okay, and sir, onto the dye intermediates and dye stuff, sir, I believe so volumes has been fairly stable over the last 5 to 6 years. We are at the similar volumes level. So any like improvement now you are witnessing, so recovery in demand. So is there any room like we can improve our volumes like on 15-20% for the next 1 to 2 years?
So dye intermediates and dye stuff, they are a batch type manufacturing process. So there reaching 90% plus is not possible. Usually the peak utilization is about 80%. We are already close to that. So and the demand is not that great that we can try to push the more utilization or think on that note. So I think there is no room for some more production or really push the utilization at this moment. That may affect the margins again. If there is more production that happens, I think that may affect the margins also. So I think
volumes for next year will be flattish, sir?
Right. Sorry, say it again, please.
Sir, volumes from dye intermediates and dye stuffs, what we have reported in FY24, more or less it will be flattish.
Yeah. So I think there is a room for improvement in dye stuff, but not a major improvement that is possible in dye intermediate. So some improvement is there, but not in a major way. Our focus is to improve or to diversify our business other than dye intermediate and dye stuff going ahead.
Got it. Sir, any new capex like I believe so we have taken a lot of debt for this benzene derivative and our clear aim is to reduce the debt. So for the next 2 years, we would be incurring only the maintenance capex?
Yes, that is what we are planning at present.
And the debt levels, what you're looking for the next 3 years?
So every year there should be reduction of about 100 crore. See, at March balance sheet, our net debt was about 830 crore. This is something a peak debt, what we are estimating. And every year about 100 crore reduction should be there.
But sir, suppose if we plan some downstream derivatives into the benzene side, as sir has mentioned, so there is more value into the downstream. So rather than making only PNCB, ONCB, so can we expect like, so we would be incurring capex onto that side?
No, for coming 2 years, we are not planning anything. So we'll review after 2 years what to do, considering that time ratios and business scenario.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pradeep Rawat from Yogya Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity again. So my question is regarding the question that an earlier participant have asked. So you have responded that there is an environmental issue with relates to effluent treatment in China. So do we treat effluent in India, or is it was more of a Chinese kind of thing?
Since mid 2010s, overall practices in India have been very strict, and as per the government's guidance, I would say the industry has been following. I would say more than 97-98% industries, I think across, at least in the western part of the country, are definitely following as per the government's guidelines. When it comes to the environment protection and all the effluents or all the gases emissions, everything is taken care of. So I think it's quite organized across India now.
Yeah,
we are much ahead as far as compliance is concerned when we compare to China. Awareness has started in late 90s only.
Understood. And with regard to our debtor days, it has come down considerably. So that was good. So what would be the specific reason for that?
So, see, company business was not doing well. At the same time, we were into capex. So our focus is to utilize every penny wherever it is stuck. So management's 100% focus was there to not to hold any fund anywhere. So that's why the recovery was very good, and now company is focusing to give clear days to customers and recover the fund wherever it's possible. So it's a based working capital management, we can say, that has helped the company to recover the debtors day.
So going forward, we should expect similar kind of debtor days.
Yes, we can expect similar.
Okay. Thank you. And that was my last question.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as there are no further questions from the participants, I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Ankit Patel for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
With this, we conclude the call and would like to thank everyone for joining us today on this earnings call. If you have any further queries, you can connect with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, members of the management. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Bodal Chemicals Limited, that concludes this conference. We thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.